with Donna Slade, and thank you for listening. Today, I'm going to talk about modernization that honors divine purpose. Because in a world where technology is booming, I mean, we have got every kind of phone you can think of. We really don't have to talk, I guess, let me put it this way. We've got assistance in ways that 20 years ago, I want to say it's at least 20 years ago, that we didn't have. I mean, we've got Alexa, we've got Siri, we've got Bixby, we've got, so many technological advances that it can sometimes overwhelm us. And then especially as people of faith, but when I say that, I mean followers of Jesus Christ, right? Following God in the name. Believers in God through Jesus Christ. That's what I'm talking about. And sometimes it can present a challenge, especially in this latest technological surge called artificial intelligence. Yeah. This artificial intelligence, my Lord, it's doing some things. And it is causing some things to happen and to rise up in the hearts and minds of believers and even non-believers. But my focus, primarily is going to be on the believer because of who we serve. Now, one of the things that I want to just help us understand and help us walk through is don't forget about Jesus. Don't forget about God, the creator of all things. He knows about AI. He understands AI, artificial intelligence. And what I want to do during this series of talks that we're going to be doing on talking about modernization, that honors divine purpose, is to peel back the layers, to lift up the shades, to open the doors, and any other metaphor that will help you understand that God is not caught off guard by artificial intelligence. He has not left you by yourself to figure out how to work with artificial intelligence. And so, to the best of my ability, and bless God, He has gifted me in this area, to help us understand and walk us through how we need to view the tool of AI and not let the tool of AI rule us. So I like to say it this way: you rule the tool and don't let the tool rule you. Okay? I'm not going to try to say that 5 times because it's going to sound crazy. So let's get started. One of the areas that I have found is that, especially when it comes to people thinking about AI and, oh my gosh, what does it mean for my job? Or what does it mean, and primarily for my job, what does it mean for my organization? What does it mean for my faith walk? That's what's pretty interesting to me, because we find that there's a whole spectrum of people of how they want to engage or not engage with this, I'm going to call this era of technology, or this wave of technology called AI. And also I want to let us understand that AI has been around for a long time. Any of us that have Googled before, how many of us have Googled before? Raise your hand. Yeah. Well, you notice when you're typing in Google that it starts putting out words before you type them, just kind of estimating or kind of maybe, prompting on what your next word could possibly be in your search. Well, that is a form of AI. Yeah, that's a form of AI. And so the difference today is that AI has become more, I like to call it forward-facing. It's no longer behind the scenes or just so subtle. It is in your face. If you also notice, when you do Google today, that you'll see where it literally says generative AI. And I'm not going to get into a whole lot of terms, and definitions. I will do that in a future episode. But today, let me back up. When you see generative AI, it just lets you know, this is face forward. AI is letting you know that the response to your question or your query into Google is AI going in and pulling up that information. One thing I do want to share with you, though, on the more technical side of kind of what AI is. So, AI, artificial intelligence, is what they like to term as an LLM, large language model. And the large language model, in essence, is saying that it is taking information from a large pool of information. And that information is the internet. It's going in and doing some really interesting things, very cool things in that pool of information that is coming from the internet. And we all know, and if you don't know, I'm going to share with you, that the internet pretty much is a compilation of the world's thoughts and ideas and I want to say dreams and posts and literature and music and ideologies and doctrines, and it's got all of that stuff that AI goes in and searches and pulls up that information based upon how you have prompted it to search out the information that you're asking for, or the question that you're asking. Okay? All right, I'm gonna leave that there for a minute, and as my mentor would say, I'm gonna float that like a balloon, and we'll come back to that later on. Because for now, I just want to help us consider some things when it comes to technology that feels threatening, right? And unfortunately, AI feels threatening because so much information has gone out about how more efficient AI is and how it can pretty much do some people's jobs, especially the ones that are more repetitive. And that people are going to lose their jobs because organizations are opting to implement an AI model into their business processes to help them get jobs done faster, faster and more efficient. And that is a truth. Kind of at the end of the day, that is a truth. However, that does not leave you, as a believer, should not leave you in a place of fear or panic. Because what we have begun to do, unfortunately, as a believer, what we've begun to do is so subtly forget about God. We've forgotten about God in the equation here. We've forgotten about God in the technology that is being, the wave of technology that's being introduced into the world. All right? And then also another thing that we've done that we should not be doing is comparing ourselves to technology. We should not be doing that. And I'm going to take us to a scripture, but then also there's an area where it says when we begin to panic and fear, and we begin to think so little of ourselves, when we begin to experience panic and fear, especially as it relates to technology, and we begin to think so little of ourselves and who God has created us to be, and all of the wonderful, powerful things that He has put into us. And that when I realized that, it became on one end almost a little bit disheartening, and it was something that I wanted to just talk about, and something to just I want to say, I keep saying there's something I wanted to just there's something I just want to bring to the forefront, because it's a truth, unfortunately. It's a truth that we are now beginning to compare ourselves to technology. And I'm going to take us to 2 Corinthians 10 and 12, because this is where it's talking about, where the word is talking about comparing ourselves by ourselves. So let me read it so you get it. It says, "For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves. But they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise." Now, if that applies to us in a way that's ignoring our uniqueness in God, then us beginning to compare ourselves to technology is a big fat no-no, We want to be reminded of who we are. And we are the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus, right? We are the head and not the tail. We are above and not beneath. And we come behind in no good thing. And the word also says that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And God knows us by name. And He knows every single thing about you. And there is nothing that He is putting up and saying, okay, how does LaDonna compare to AI? And can she do the same job as AI? No, no. That is not something that that needs to be a discussion point, because it's not my job to do the same thing as AI. Unfortunately, let me tell you a story. I heard, it's the truth, yeah. I heard one businesswoman talk about how her assistant could not produce as well as AI. And she pretty much threatened her assistant to say, in essence saying, what do I need you for when AI can get the job done a whole lot faster? And AI gives me more insight into different things. So what she did, she pretty much told the woman that I'm going to fire you, and I'm going to fire you unless you do better, unless you can come up to the standard, or you can come up to the level of producing data and information as AI. That's apples and oranges in my mind. That's apples and oranges in my mind, and I thought that was totally unfair of that woman, to the point where the woman, her assistant, said, I'm not going to do that. I cannot do that. So I believe she walked. Because it's not our job at the end of the day to try to say, I am going to compete with AI. We're not going to compete with AI. We are to rule AI. Remember earlier? You rule the tool. You don't let the tool rule you. You rule the tool. And the only way you can do that is to get an understanding of what it really means. What does AI really mean? What all can it do? And that takes a first-hand experience to be able to do that. It's not something you can hear from someone and be able to say, well, I'm going to implement that based on what so-and-so said, or I'm going to take that and run with it. It's going to bring fear in me based upon what so-and-so said about it, and you have not put your hands on it. You have not read about it. You have not gone into the various applications and tried it. Okay? And even when I say that, I can hear someone say, I can't try that, LaDonna, because it's the devil. Okay. I've already gone over more time than I wanted to talk in the first place. So, I'm going to come back to this in just a moment. All right. Okay, I know that was some good stuff. I mean, I thank you for allowing me to share that with you, because it was some good stuff. I just know some good stuff. And it's stuff I think we need to start thinking about and considering as more and more waves of technology are going to come into the earth, that unless we ask for that understanding, because remember in Proverbs, it says wisdom is the principal thing. And in all you're getting, get understanding. So the wisdom part of that is that it's wise to do some investigating when it comes to artificial intelligence, and do some hands-on investigating when it comes to artificial intelligence or AI. And what I mean by that, engage with like the Chat GPTs or the Claudes, and then there's some other, what they call large language model applications that you can go in and just test it out. And actually there's one called copy.ai. And yeah, just go in and see, check it out. That it is necessary for us to do that when we talk about wisdom, so we have a better idea of when we gain that understanding, okay, how should I actually use it? Because it said in all you're getting, it says wisdom is the principal thing. And in all you're getting, get understanding. And that's the purpose of me chatting with you about faith in AI, is so that we can get that understanding, so that we can hear God around the wisdom on how to actually engage with it. Okay?